All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So this is part recent runner, part energy and oil video, okay? CEI definitely had, you can see, a very big pop at some part of the day, still ending with a double digit, right? Never, don't discount 11% days, though we see these like 50 and 60s on these videos, right? That said, I think IMPP is where CEI is. Okay, I said that poorly. IMPP was where CEI is now. And I think that's why I'm covering these two together, because the question ultimately will be, was today's news enough to actually believe something's going to change in this stock, right? I think a lot of people believe the answer was yes with IMPP. I think it's fair to say it wasn't. And that's why I think it's good comparing the two, okay? That said, we'll obviously cover the technical shortly. Real quick, before we do, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages. These horizontal support and resistance lines I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe. Sorry about that. It does really well with the YouTube algorithms, but even if you don't, just thank you so much for watching these, okay? And then, hey, if you disagree with anything I got to say, please let me know, okay? I am not perfect. I definitely get things wrong, and I'd much rather you tell me I'm wrong than watch my money go down the toilet or miss out on a good run that I kind of thought wasn't there, right? So it is a two-way street here. All right, let's get into it. So, I very much want to call out, look, I have not made these videos in a long time, but you can see the power of my lines, right? Obviously, nothing's financial advice, but once 171 was lost, you can see what happened. And again, you got to go back to see when the last time I made this video was, and you'll for sure see that line's there, right? So, just because I haven't been talking about something, you can see that the lines, they still kind of work, right? But yeah, it did its best to hold this thing, and obviously you can see the aftermath, right? And again, I know it doesn't look like a lot, but going from 171 to 130s, even lower, 120, that's a 50-cent drop on a stock that only has less than 50 cents in it, right? Like, this thing is not at $2. So that's a really substantial drop, okay? So these lines are pretty powerful, all right? That said, what happened here? So from what I read, there was a re-engagement in a merger talk. Okay, I have no idea if CEI is going to buy the other company. I don't know if the other company is going to buy CEI. What do I know? I don't think this is going to close tomorrow, right? Like, I don't even think it's going to end. I think merger discussions are going to take a while. The fact that maybe they've done it before and they're going to hash it out, hopefully might mean it won't take as long as like a fresh merger discussion, but there's gonna need to be some negotiations and lawyers trying to make as much money as they can, and you know what I mean? So the question ultimately will be, how much are people going to be talking about this, right? Now, we don't see a crazy volume increase, okay, but we do see a pretty substantial one. Look, this thing was around 500,000 and then it goes to 3.5 million, right? That's a pretty, that's 5x, 6x, 7x, 35, 5 to 35, right? So yeah, between 7x and 8x, right? I mean, it's a jump up. That said, it wasn't a crazy thing like this where I sincerely doubt it's going to hold, right? I think it's actually believable that we can have 3 million volume again, right? This is a doji, and it actually broke the biggest candle to the left. That's really important to me. Then we literally have nothing but this red right here. Look, this is not a stock I like keeping my money in, but there's a good chance that this bad boy moves up a little bit. That same 50-cent drop might be a quick 50-cent gain, and only 14 cents brings you 11, right? So what I'm for sure doing is I'm setting an alert. I want to know if this thing goes up a couple cents, right? If this thing hits $1.36, yeah, let me know. An alert is not an immediate buy notification by no means. However, yeah, come check out the charts, right? Now look, it's very arguable that you could have set an alert actually at 140. right? Because 138 is the 8 moving average. You know the 8's difficult, right? And hey, going from 140 to 160, oh, that's a beautiful move, right? 14 cents is 10%. We're actually adding almost 15, we're making almost a 15% move right there, right? So I would actually very much say that 139, I'm actually going to go ahead and set a second alert. I think 139 might be the, again, nothing's safer, nothing's safest, nothing's guaranteed, but I think that's a little bit safer. Trying to make that 8 to 20 play, right? Because again, that's how the moving averages work. If you break this, you should go to this. If you break this, you should go to this, right? So hopefully this kind of brings us there. And again, I love me some red, especially if your money was not up here and then you watched it come down, right? But yeah, again, just I'm being realistic about the merger news, right? We've seen this stock do nothing but trade under the 8 and the 20. I know there are a lot of passionate people that do like this stock. It has a special place in their heart. Passion does not pay the rent. It does not put good food on the table. It's important to just be realistic, right? So I'm very much, you can tell I'm excited for tomorrow, but end of the day, nothing is good in my book unless it's over the 8 moving average. This thing is under, right? So that's why I was saying I think this might be the better entry than like just literally the penny over, right? But again, this is an interesting chart. I think there's reason to believe there could be a good play here, but at the very same time, it's very much believable. I did not need to zoom out right there. I'm sorry. If this bad boy loses 128, it's going deeper and deeper down, all-time lows like it's been doing all of its career, right? At least this last couple of years, right? At least this last year. Oh my gosh, no, more than last. Yeah, okay, I don't got too much more to say here, but definitely not a good weekly. Again, it makes 171 seem very realistic, right? Because that's roughly where the 8 moving average is. 171 is actually a little bit over the 20, right? So yeah, there's reasons to feel good here, but end of the day, close over the 8 moving average at least twice before I believe it'll sustain. But yeah, I wouldn't mind fishing for a nice little move here. Okay, let's talk about IMPP. All right. I have to believe it was this day that it happened, okay? So what essentially happened, and it's funny, I don't look at earnings, I don't look at guidance or anything like that. This right here is when IMPP released their earnings, and what really killed it was the fact that they were gonna basically sell shares at a really low price. There's nothing worse than dilution. When someone's gonna dilute shares or do a reverse split, you run. Those are the worst phrases for you, okay? And there was so much pain from the dilution. On this day, they basically said after hours that we are no longer going to do it. And boom, this thing literally makes a good move, actually opens up here, right? That right there is why I very much often say do not let after hours or pre-market fool you. Okay, it's weird. I'm telling you, I've done it before. You see the double digits after hours, you see the double digits pre-market before that bell, and then it just drops with like seconds left before it's the craziest thing. And honestly, I've lost too much money getting greedy from pre-market and after hours. So this, I believe, is a good example. And again, the news the day of was great, okay? However, how long are they really going to talk about that for? And I think that really is more to echo the CEI comment than pick on IMPP, okay? I'm not going to talk too much. Look, this thing is trading under the 8 moving average. It's trading under the 20 moving average. You can see, again, it's been a long time since I've covered this stock. But yeah, once it lost this line, which I have to believe was an all-time lows line, yeah, for sure, right? Once it lost that, there is zero surprise in my head that we go from 25 to 15. All-time lows is this black hole vortex that steals your money. There is zero. I had a conversation with someone on Twitter about that. I'm telling you, I've seen it so many times. Once you lose your all-time low support, Losing 20% it'll happen in a blink of an eye. This thing went from 24 to 15. That thing lost 10 cents on a stock that has less than 3 10-cent dimes in it. You know what I mean? Like, that's a substantial loss. That's what all-time lows will do, and it only took a couple weeks to do it, right? Like, it's a very scary, very disgusting, very, very painful thing. And I'm telling you, I never tell you what to do with your money, but you know I hate averaging down. Seemed like a really good deal at 44 cents. Seemed like a really good deal at 33 cents. Seemed like a really good deal at 24 cents. I can't believe it went back up to 40 cents and it's back at 24. It has to be an amazing deal, right? Oh man, it's such a good deal at 20 cents. Again, there are 16 more cents this thing can lose. I am not implying that it's going to zero. And again, I'm done picking on this stock. It was more about like the emphasis on CEI, I swear. But the 8 moving average and the 20 moving average are really important rules. I live by them. I really do. So, hey, I sincerely appreciate your time. I hope you agree with these. If you don't, again, you're not going to offend me if you say, here's what I think, and here's why I think that you're wrong, right? So it really is a two-way street here. But thank you for your time.